That's the United States Federal Courthouse here. And I'm here for a very special day that could be a sad or happy day depending on the outcome. Inside, Trevor Hurd, aka Crip Mac, is being sentenced. Now, if you don't know who Crip Mac is, which you might not, I'm going to give you a short overview of the timeline of our relationship with Crip Mac. First met Crip Mac in an alleyway in 55th Street about 3 years ago.
We're going to keep it 55th Street. Kids, they should go to school. They should take care of their family, do shit by themselves. But you can't say every kid not going to gangbang because a lot of kids want to do this shit.
Filmed a video with him. Video went viral. A lot of people liked it, enjoyed it, saw it.
Never commit suicide.
Damn.
Everything gonna see all right.
He's right. Like, don't do that.
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
That's such a great message.
We became friends after that, did some merch commercials, fed the homeless a couple times.
We're out here taking care of the people. We love the people. People love pizza.
After that, he violated probation for having a gun. He went to jail for about 1.5 years. After he got out of jail, we threw him a welcome home surprise party at my mom's house.
Home from prison. Home from prison, Johnny back. Yeah. Look at your case. Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, about 4.5 months after he got out, he got caught with a ghost gun in South Central LA. And a ghost gun is a 3D printed semi-automatic firearm. Apparently, allegedly, he threw the gun over the fence after a cop was chasing him.
It was a holiday. Yeah. And he went to the hood. There's a barbecue. It was like a little barbecue. And he just went to say what's up. He was in the backyard. He was on live, talking on live. And you know, when he's on live, he's not doing nothing. He's just there talking.
$55, I give you a story post. Very affordable, $5, y'all.
Like, oh, doing features, $55, whatever the fuck you doing, right? And then the police probably saw, oh, he's in the neighborhood. They came into private property inside the backyard and they arrested him.
He got charged with gun possession, a probation violation, and a federal gang enhancement. So he had a 15-year minimum.
If they try to make him a career criminal, it's 15 minimum.
And while we at Channel 5 don't generally believe that convicted felons should possess illegal firearms, we found Crip Mac's recommended sentence to be unreasonably high, especially given the fact that he suffers from paranoid schizophrenia.
I suffer mental illness, which is diagnosed schizophrenia.
Was not allowed to leave LA County under any circumstances as per the terms of his previous probation.
So that means he can't even go to Six Flags.
No.
He can't even go down to Orange County.
No, he really isn't supposed to go anywhere.
He can't leave LA County.
And is constantly being threatened by jealous haters online, almost all of whom reside in the county the state says he can't leave.
He's a trophy out here. You know, people that live that life, people would, you know, happily do something to him just to go viral on the internet.
And so we basically just made a Channel 5 video presenting those 3 talking points, and people resonated with that.
After that, we started a GoFundMe called Crip Mac Legal Defense Fund to raise money for him to get a super good attorney. So thanks to you guys, we raised over $45,000, got him a dope-ass lawyer, and now here he is.
Dion Benjamin, Mr. Hurd's attorney on his matter. He's a great individual. I think he has a very bright future, as everybody can see. And he's not what everybody, you know, depicts him out to be. I think once he gets out, he'll be very successful as he was. And I think he'll even be bigger and continue, you know, doing all of the great things he was doing, especially all of the great things he was doing in the community.
Would you rather a bologna sandwich with water or some fucking gumbo? Some gumbo. All right, come on. Here we go. Gumbo. Come on.
So bear in mind, if everything goes badly, he's going to get 15 years in jail. If things go well, I think he's apparently looking at between 1 to 3 years in prison. So he's right now getting transferred from Santa Ana Jail in Orange County, being driven here. I think his family's inside. So we're going to go talk to them, and I'm going to sit in the courtroom for the first time. So here we go.
Upon arriving to courtroom 7D, the first person I saw was Crip Mac's best friend and former manager, Lupe.
You got $1 million right now, cuz. Spit on that motherfucker on neighborhood grip. Me and Lupe gonna go get our money out the mud. Lupe!
Who said that she had an update in his case.
Last time we checked, it was supposed to be like potentially 15 years.
That's if he would have not pled guilty. It was going to be for 15, but now that he pled guilty, he's looking at 10 years. They only paid for the bullets.
Hey, Granny, how's everything going?
The day finally came. I'm here. Today is my birthday, too. 77 today. So they should let my man come home.
I'm nervous and excited and optimistic. I know his true character is going to come through with so much support and so many great people around him. I mean,
despite the optimism, there's a sense in the courtroom that Trevor will likely serve a great amount of time. But to his friends and family, 10 is still much less than 15 years.
I'll take that as opposed to what the maximum could be for him, you know, so.
The way they see it, as far as his newborn daughter's life, his introduction into her world at age 10 versus age 15 when she's already a sophomore in high school would make a ton of difference.
He hasn't had a chance to see the baby. I mean, only on video. And I'm hoping that the judge will let him be able to hold her or, you know, at least touch her. But she wants her dad to come home too. She loves him already.
As we sat down in the courtroom, the gravity of the situation began to kick in. Sitting in front of us was Judge Dale Fisher, a soon-to-be retired federal judge, who had C-Mac's entire future in her hands. Pretty much instantly, she expressed her frustration with the case.
The history and characteristics of the defendant and the nature and circumstances of the defendant are aggravating. As the government points out, Mr. Hurd is a known gang member. He possessed a semi-automatic handgun with no serial number, loaded with 10 rounds of ammunition. When he was ordered by police to drop the weapon, he threw it over a fence, endangering others. I disagreed with the probation officer who recommended a low sentence, and I was seriously considering not following even the government's recommendation for a mid-range sentence. In fact, I think it would be entirely reasonable to vary above guidelines range in this case.
Mr. Hurd has suffered from a lot of mental health issues growing up, schizophrenia, ADHD. Unfortunately, he grew up in a impoverished neighborhood, one that was flooded by gang violence. Mr. Hurd does have a criminal history. However, at the time of this incident, Mr. Hurd was doing podcasts. He was in movies. So he became an entertainer at this point. He just had a daughter. So although Mr. Hurd does accept responsibility for this incident of possessing the firearm, he had no intentions of using the firearm. It was simply, he was in this neighborhood and he simply had it for self-defense. It was not used during the commission of a crime. I believe that prison also, it will not allow him to address and further address his mental health issues that he suffers from. And so for those reasons, we'll be asking that he not be sent to prison.
Is there anything you would like to say before I sentence you, Mr. Hurd?
Yes, ma'am. Last thing I want to say is all the great stuff I was doing with the homeless and the convalescent home. I'm going to continue taking care of my workouts and also taking care of my newborn baby girl, and just do great things to help people out there and just stay out of bad areas.
And don't carry weapons.
Yes, ma'am, and don't carry weapons.
I'm sure you've been told this before.
Yes, ma'am.
Pursuant to the Sentencing Reform Act of 1984, it's the judgment of the court that the defendant, Trevor Hurd, is committed on count 1 of the indictment for a term of 33 months to be served consecutively to any prior or subsequent state court sentence.
The Perfect Cash Advance app did not exist until now. I gotta tell you about Clio. Clio is a cash.
The court recommends the Bureau of Prisons conduct a mental health evaluation of the defendant and provide all necessary treatment.
Breaking news, Crip Mac just sentenced to 33 months, felon in possession of a firearm. I knew I was speaking.
That means he's going to be out in like 2.5 years, right?
Yeah, by the time she's almost 3, yeah.
What's your daughter's name?
Kaya. He calls her Kalani. Kaya.
He's got credits going back to December of 2023.
He should be home like in 2 years. He's still gonna have a career when he comes out. You know, he's always working hard in jail. We're still releasing songs. If anybody wants to get an interview from Crip Mac, hit me up or hit up Channel 5. You know, we'll set it up.
How can somebody reach you?
Lupe Gotti 4600. That's my Instagram. You guys want any interviews with Crip Mac or anything with Crip Mac, just tap into my messages, DMs.
Dion Benjamin did a great job advocating for him. He submitted mitigation in the form of numerous character letters. They also investigated a mental health defense, which caused the judge to consider that as a mitigating factor under these sentencing guidelines. I think this is a win for all rappers, entertainers, influencers everywhere, anyone who's engaging with the community at the level that Crip Mac has. So after the 33 months, after he's released, most likely from a halfway house, he'll be subject to a 1-year tail, supervised release. Basically think of it as federal probation. And if he does not violate that, he'll be really set up to succeed.
One thing that they talked about was like after he gets out, he has even more strict probation terms this time.
The defendant shall not associate with anyone known to him to be a member of the 55 neighborhood Crip gang and others known to the defendant to be participants in the 55 neighborhood Crip gang's criminal activities. The defendant may not wear, display, use, or possess any gang insignia, emblem, badges, buttons, caps, hats, jackets, shoes, or any other clothing that defendant knows evidence affiliation with the 55 neighborhood Crip gang, and may not display any signs or gestures that defendant knows evidence affiliation with the 55 neighborhood Crip gang. 11, as directed by the probation officer, the defendant shall not be present in any area known to the defendant to be a location where members of the 55 neighborhood Crip gang meet or assemble.
This is going to be a real change for him in a lot of significant ways. I think people want to see him grow, you know? So I feel like if he has to kind of leave some of that stuff behind, it'll be all right. But I do wonder, like, that shit is so ingrained in how he behaves and presents himself that it is kind of hard to imagine him even, like, who the fuck's he going to hang out with if he can't hang around, you know, people that are gang related? Like, if he wants to come and do podcasts and No Jumper, cat's out of the bag, there's going to be some gang members around. So it's definitely going to take a little bit more control than he's perhaps exhibited in the past.
He can come with us places. I don't know if he wants to.
The terms of his probation also include 2 years of mandated sobriety.
The defendant shall refrain from any unlawful use of a controlled substance. He shall abstain from using alcohol and illicit drugs, nor shall the defendant use any name other than the defendant's true legal name.